how was your start with RBS in this industry? What challenges did you face? How did you overcome them?
To be honest, I've came into this industry as a complete, what we would say in Bosnian, like, or a newbie. Didn't know pretty much anything about it, and what I knew is how to speak English, how to work on a computer, how to speak with people effectively, and you know, that's starter pack that you need for this industry. You know it yourself. When I came here to BHX, to RBS, and then started working with logistics, it was like, man, if only I could know what the driver thinks. Right now I know what the driver thinks, and I can book that load accordingly. It's a perfect situation. So
right.
That's why this app is such an advancement for the industry.
Welcome to the 12th episode of On the Road Show. My name is Vedad, I'm your host, and joining us live here in the Royal Blue Services office in Sarajevo, Mahir Numanovic, member of our operations and dispatch team. Mahir, good to have you on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, man. It's good to be here.
I actually waited for a very long time to have an opportunity to meet with you. There is a lot for us to talk about. How was your day, Mahir?
It was pretty interesting. Some good things, some bad things, some really good loads, made some people happy. Also had to resolve some unfortunate situations, but that's all part of the job.
What's a day for a dispatcher without a problem, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It comes with the job, as I said, and in the end, we do have a certain feeling of satisfaction once we resolve that.
Right, right. This job is very dynamic, so every day comes with its own challenges, right? We'll touch base on the industry and the position later. First, we want to get to know you a little bit more. So you have joined this company in November 2020, right?
Correct.
So you've been here for a long time. You're a part of that group that has the most experience here. You've been involved with so many different departments, many different positions. Can you tell us a bit about that? How do you describe your progress so far? What were the most challenging things that you have faced so far?
Well, I think that, as I like to think, actually, I've tried almost every position in this company right now. There are a lot of different positions and tasks. I really enjoy every one of them, as I enjoy my job. From the bidding, just having people booked after waiting a long time, or booking them a load that they really like, it's a really nice feeling. Solving the problems that we meet with, it does require a lot of effort, and it does require problem-solving skills. And I am very proud that I can say that I do have those, and I can effectively work with this team. It's an amazing team that we got here.
Indeed.
I would say probably one of the best teams in the industry, and it's
ambitious team.
Absolutely ambitious.
I say this because you are considered as an ambitious individual. And how old are you?
I'm 22.
22 with the company for a bit over a year, right? And so much behind you already in terms of experience and everything that you have been through here. Mahir, you were born not in Sarajevo, you were born somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I was born in BHX.
Yeah, northern Bosnia, okay. How did you come down to Sarajevo? How did that story go? And how did you discover Royal Blue?
Well, to be honest, most of my life I have been out of my home. After my primary school, I went to high school in Tuzla, and I was out of my home for 4 years flat. It was a difficult experience, being away from home after you have actually you've got along to being at home and then 4 years away, it toughens you up definitely. After that, it was a tough decision. You know, go back home for the university or go to Sarajevo, since I really like IT, and best opportunities for IT were that time in Sarajevo. I decided to go there, and now I'm here. I got married. Absolutely, I needed a job. Coronavirus, you know, affected us all. I've changed 2-3 jobs. In the end, I've landed this beautiful job with RBS, and from then, you know, everything else is history.
It's history, right? History in the making. Still, there's still a lot ahead to achieve. Mahir, I was listening to you very, very carefully about, you know, heading out there far from home, searching for opportunities. Kind of relatable. I'm from here. I was born here in this city, but I lived 11 years outside of the country in search for those opportunities. But I'm back to be home now. But I appreciate everyone who's far from home and trying to make something. That's a challenge of its own. Mahir, ambitions, expectations, potential. That's what we're talking about right now. Where do you see yourself moving forward in this company? What are the next challenges for Mahir on the road?
Well, moving ahead, first thing that comes to my mind is that this team, this company that I'm with has a great potential, and we are already onto some very, very big things in this industry and other industries. So I see myself as an important asset in this company, because I want this company to grow. I want to grow with it. Even though I've got a lot of experience in different tasks, I think it's just the beginning right now, and I wanna you know, try out in every aspect that this company can offer. As I said, I see myself helping out RBS become much bigger than it is right now. You know, broaden this family that we got, and I would like to be an important part of that.
Good to hear. Becoming such an individual that has such potential, such ambition, such readiness to respond to different situations in a relatively good, timely manner, requires good general knowledge, good personality, good character. What do you invest in yourself outside of work? What are you mostly interested in? What occupies your time when you're not on duty?
Couple of things. One thing that I have begun and I would like to finish up, complete, is actually to live through all the things that our country has to offer, to visit every beautiful part of our Bosnia, and every part of it is beautiful. I wanna visit as many places there. I wanna travel in Bosnia, outside of Bosnia as well. Second thing, I do love video games. It's a very
there we go.
Very nice thing for me that I have lived with since.
A lot of my
childhood.
guests said that they love video games. I've heard different answers. What's the favorite type of video games for you, and what platform? Well,
there is one thing I'm amazed by. That's what happened in Chernobyl. You know, that famous explosion in the nuclear reactor, and from that came out Stalker video game. I've played every part of it. Now another part has come out. I'm eager to try it out. That's a game that I love the most. Genre of that kind, you know, like fantasies of some sorts, it's not my favorite, but that game, that franchise, actually, you know, it's in my heart, and I love it.
Chernobyl, is that the reason why you come across so many hazmat loads from time to
Absolutely.
time?
Absolutely.
I think so.
They are a challenge. They are a challenge, I can tell you that.
There is some bond right there, right? Yeah.
could be.
You mentioned tourism, you mentioned visiting places. Now, I want to just understand, is that because you like tourism itself, or is that, you know, more tied with your love or loyalty to your own home country? Like, which one is it specifically?
Well, it's something that I've lived with since my childhood. I was very invested into folk dancing, folklore, and I was like throughout my primary school, I was in folk dance group, and when that time of summer break comes, every day is, you know, another travel. You know, today we are in Gadačac, tomorrow we go to Maglaj, and you know, we visited so many places, and I've come to love Bosnia. But most of the time we spent, you know, with hanging out with other people, dancing, but not so much actually visiting, you know, cultural places, visiting natural beauty that Bosnia has. That's something that that has left for me to do, and I would like to do that. That's one thing, and you know, I've gone with them also outside the country. So from my young age, I have been traveling, and I just want to keep with it.
Right. Bosnia is a cultural and natural gem when it comes to tourism, and I believe in the strength of that statement that says one's own journey should start from their very home, right?
Absolutely.
And I would say, maybe you would agree with me, that many Bosnian people start their journey by checking out other places without really, you know, being familiar with their own, right?
That is correct. One thing that I've came to see is actually that a lot of our people, you know, when the summer comes, their holidays, you know, I want to go here, I want to go there, and most of those places are outside of Bosnia. We have so much and so many natural beauties and cultural beauties here, and I don't know if it's, you know, because it's close to us, so we kind of don't consider it important. But then people from you know, the whole world come in Bosnia, and they are the ones that see it, but we don't see. Like it's right in front of your nose, and you don't see it.
Do you think this is more of a global thing? Like, people visit other countries before they get really, you know, familiar with their own? Is that more of a global thing, or is it more of a Bosnian thing? Since you've been involved with tourism a lot more in the past, like, what is your perception of this?
I don't think we have a good marketing of our own tourism.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why, you know, we go to TV. When have you seen our natural beauties on TV being, you know, advertised? It's a thing that we don't really do, but all you see is, you know, let's say Alps in Europe, you know, or let's say Asia, African part, you know, of those beauties. And Bosnia, not so much. I think the people and the ministry and everyone should you know, invest more time and money to advertise, and to also keep those places clean, you know, organize a bit better. So I think we will, if that comes to be a thing that we do, I think we can make good things, and we can actually come out of that problem.
Right. It would actually take me about 5 minutes to recall what was the last time I've seen a domestic tourism ad on the television here. So that's a good point. Mahir, we're leaving tourism behind. We'll maybe come back to that at some point. We'll see. Maybe even get RBS involved in tourism. We'll see. Anyways, transportation and logistics. You're joining RBS in November. One funny thing that I cannot forget, and probably will never forget, the reason you're hired is because there was no reason not to be hired, right?
Correct.
Like, what was your perception of that, and you know, how was your start with RBS and this industry? What challenges did you face? How did you overcome them?
To be honest, I've came into this industry as a complete, what we would say in Bosnian, like, or a newbie. Didn't know pretty much anything about it, and what I knew is how to speak English, how to work on a computer, how to speak with people effectively, and that's starter pack that you need for this industry. You know it yourself, and from then I became familiarized with things and tasks one by one. I mastered one of the tasks. I do it for some time, and I want to do another one. I recall actually telling my manager, telling Munir, hey, can you try me out in bidding? Let's go for this. Let's go for this. Just because in my first couple of months on this job, I came to love it. So that's why I wanted to try out every task, and now I'm proud to be to say that I did that and that I've mastered every one of them. As I said, it is kind of, let's say, love for the job, love for the industry. Even though this was not my primary logistics was not my primary let's say option for the job. It was software engineering. It was either that or design, graphics design. But
one has to be open-minded to any opportunity
Absolutely.
that comes up. You never know what's around the corner, and you got to be ready to make the best out of it.
Absolutely.
Right. This eagerness for you, I mean, from your side, to knock on all doors, to learn all aspects of this job. Is that something that you consider as a strength that outweigh all the risks associated with it, all the pressure, and moving forward? I bet that's what you plan to continue on doing. Am I right?
Absolutely. I think that by, let's say, you're as we say, bidding on the loads. You're looking for loads for the drivers. If you didn't work in that operations side, you don't have the full picture. You don't have the broader picture, and only then you learn to be proactive. You learn to you learn to see some things even before they happen. Sometimes we can say we're looking at a load and we say, this is gonna be a problem. I know it's gonna be a problem. You see some notes, you see some things, and it just gives you that broader picture. And in the end, if you are familiar with that operations side or other sides of the logistics, then it fulfills your current tasks, your current position, and it makes you what they would say. It's a sports jargon, complete player.
Right. Speaking of that, like we said already, you have been involved in all departments. You have seen it all come full circle. Now, I want to focus specifically on dispatch. A lot of drivers know you, and they know you for a good reason. Many of them consider you to be the ultimate opportunist, and here is why. You have that ability, and you have proved it many times before, taking people out of difficult spots, sending people home in the last minute virtually, basically booking such loads that are very crucial and strategic to match the needs of our drivers. Now, what were the hardest situations you have faced when it comes to this, and what is it that makes such, I'm going to call it a hunter's instinct? What makes this hunter's instinct? What produced it in you to be capable of doing this?
Couple things come to my mind.
Because just before you start, I just want to say, I do not consider that as luck. Yes, luck comes to those who deserve it, but there has to be a skill when it happens, times over and over again.
Absolutely, I think so. One thing is that in logistics, you have some bigger cities that are not industrial. They don't have developed industry, so not a lot of freight will come in or out of those cities. If it's a big city, it doesn't mean that it's gonna have a lot of freight. It doesn't mean that it's a good spot for loads. So first thing, if the driver is in a bad area, move him to a better area. Second thing is that some parts of USA are active throughout one part of the day, others throughout the other part of the day. So I think that I have the feeling for if the driver is in certain part, I know what time frame most loads will come out of, and I will focus on those loads. I will try to organize. If I see an opportunity that's so, and I know it's a good time for loads that they're going to be popping up, maybe I'll wait it out for another opportunity. Also, one thing is that having that relationship with the brokers. If the driver is, let's say, stuck in an area, I'm not gonna wait for the load to come to me. I'm gonna call out the brokers that usually have loads out of those areas. Usually those are the brokers that have headquarters in that area. I'm gonna call them up. Hey, listen, I got this guy. He's waiting for 50 hours. Before you post the load, please come to me. I'll beat any price you want. We can make it happen. So it's just that it kind of means a little bit being proactive about that. So yeah, it's relationship with the brokers, picking out the area where to relocate the driver, time of the day.
You agree that in this role, and what I'm trying to understand here, and what I want everyone out there to understand, the opportunity may not always present itself. You got to create it, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And you mentioned the relationship, you mentioned being proactive in that search. And when it comes to that network, in such a short period of time, you've developed a large network of your clients. What are the main techniques that you employ in order to make this happen?
What is important to the brokers is not as much as price as how are you going to do the load. Can they entrust you with your freight?
Reliability.
Yes, reliability, correct. So what we offer to them is always 24/7 dispatch with the best team in the industry, and not all of them know that. Sometimes you're gonna get new clientele as well, and a lot of things coming from, let's say, your signature on the email, coming from how you post your bid, how you let's say organize your information for them. It's very important to them. Sometimes just based on that first email they get, they're gonna discard a carrier. They ain't gonna look at the price. They ain't gonna look at how far the driver is. If you don't seem professional, if you don't seem reliable, they will not waste the time on you. So just that first impression is what we have. Based on that, brokers that we do have the relationship with already, you're already a step forward. You already have the first level, and then what you can do, is just have some. Sometimes they will have those, special notes, everything. Acknowledge that, tell them.
And be attentive to the detail. Make sure everything is done.
Absolutely, yeah. My driver will definitely have the protective gear. He can deliver directly. This, that. All of those things are important to them. Just because they don't have to waste then another 2 emails to you. Hey, does he have the protective gear? Does he have 3-4 straps, this, that, and it's just something that will isolate you, to be the first on their line to get that load.
Right. And Mahir, speaking of the industry itself, from looking at the whole developments in this industry since the time you've joined RBS, we had COVID pandemics, we had the crisis with the fuel prices, and so far all of these major developments in the world, they affect the industry. They affect the load markets, the pricing. How do you see this situation that we have right now? How do you, where do you think all of this is going to go? What is your prediction based on what's happening right now?
Well, there is one thing, some people believe it, some people don't believe it. Time cures. It could be a thing in this situation as well. Right now we have a situation where fuel prices have gone up. The prices of the loads, not so much. They have gone up, but let's say insignificantly when you compare them to the fuel prices. That percentage is way off. And you have then the drivers that they have used to one certain standard of life, and that weekly pay or monthly pay, whatever they get, it defines their standard of life. Now, when they are giving so much money to fuel, and also not only fuel has gone up, printing paperwork, $4 for one page. One A4 format page. It's just something that we haven't seen for a while. And first thing, those prices of the loads are gonna probably come up with the time. But as I said, insignificantly in a small time frame, that's gonna come up. I hope the fuel prices will stay where they are. There is an indication that they won't go much higher than that. And I think at this moment, we need to try and adjust to that. We still, can have a really good quality of life even with the situation right now. What we can do, is analyze the market every day, analyze the industry news, and try to adjust to it. Try to do the best we can.
Right. Absolutely. Do you think we actually have to kind of adapt, because we cannot assert a big influence as one carrier on the industry itself? But do you think adapting to the situation that we have now? I'm mostly focused from the driver's perspective. Obviously, there is a lot of dissatisfaction with the situation going on. With fuel prices rising, and then you have rates staying the same, or perhaps even declining here and there. Do you think adapting to the situation for the time being is the only solution right now?
I think we can find a tactic, we can find a plan where somewhere we'll win, somewhere we'll lose. Let's say these international loads also. We do those Canada loads too. They have helped us very much, because the prices have gone up. We'll win there. We'll lose at some other loads in some areas that loads haven't increased in. Especially, I'm thinking of East Coast when I'm saying that. But I think we can. It's not so much about adapting as it is for creating some kind of tactic, some kind of plan. Every day we can come up with a new plan. Look at that picture, look at that map of the drivers where they are. Assert some kind of tactic.
Approach with strategy.
Absolutely, right. Yeah. Create a strategy, and I think like that we can accomplish some big things, even in a tough situation like this.
Right. It's good you mentioned the aftermath of the vaccine mandate. Another major thing that happened in this industry. Turned out to be good for those who were ready or got vaccinated during this time. Bad for those who lost eligibility to go to Canada because they're not, and they were not planning to do so. Mahir, let's focus on RBS and BHX as a carrier. Industry is dynamic, but so is this company. Very dynamic. A lot of things have changed, a lot of things have improved, a lot of things were upgraded. Speaking about this period of time since November 2020, we have seen BHX grow all the way, reform its own operations and procedures. Major release of the application recently from your point of view, how much did we improve the driver's experience with the release of application?
Well,
like you're the person who has a lot of communication with drivers every day, and I believe you're in position to extract a lot of feedback. You get to hear a lot of feedback on this subject. Are people happy with this new application that we released? Are they finding the features and what it does beneficial and useful for their needs?
It depends on the drivers. Globally, yes. If we look at the broad picture, yes. However, with some drivers, especially with the drivers, first the drivers who have been happy with how it is, and some of those people, it's normal for the people not to like changes. First, people who liked the things how they were. Second, the people who were not in their best years for technical advancement. Okay, application, do this, do that. Some people that are older, they're just not too familiar with it. It didn't go well with them. As I said, globally, people love it. If I let's say there comes a week when I want to be around home, or I want some certain types of loads, or I have spared money. I wanna try and get some really good opportunities. Want to try and bid myself on the loads. It's really good for them. So I think, as I said, one part of the drivers, it has an opposite influence on them, but I think they will come to, because we are making it friendly also for those people. Auto dispatch is the best thing for the drivers right now. I'm not sure, and I don't think there is any application right now in the industry that is similar to that, where you can choose where you want to go, and even if so, you choose where you want to go. You choose, let's say, 20 states, and usually you would be losing out on all the opportunity in the other states, not here. But
you still
eligible.
have a chance, right?
Yes,
you still have a chance to adjust your settings, adjust your preferences, and still you have a chance to look at those other opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
That's where I was waiting to get into the subject of the features, different modes of how the loads are being approached, and drivers can choose between auto dispatch and self dispatch. In brief words, because many drivers are going to watch this, what are the key things that they should focus in either one of these two modes, and in what situation should they go for one of these?
Well, I think that first, people who aren't long in this industry, they should go with the auto dispatch. I mean, you can choose your states. Maybe from a friend you've heard, Colorado is not good for loads. Okay, I'm at Colorado for now. You're starting. Maybe it's your first year, second year with this industry. Maybe it's the first month. Go for auto dispatch and track down those prices that you get loads on. Track them, see what those prices are, memorize them, and in couple months you'll probably get to know them, and you will be ready maybe for self dispatch. Maybe you like auto dispatch, you're gonna leave it for some time, but as I said, time comes when you need to be picky about loads. You have some things around home or something like that, and you really need to do self dispatch. And now you have that vision of how the rates are going. If you're bidding on the loads, you drive a Sprinter van and you bid on every load $2-3 per mile, you're gonna be stuck. You ain't gonna get any loads. But when you have that vision of those prices, you've been on auto dispatch, and we have provided you with those suggested rates that 99% of carriers are gonna go with. then you have really good opportunity even when you're on self-dispatch. So I would advise every driver to, if they like the self-dispatch option, go with auto dispatch at least for a couple of months, see how everything is going, because you have a team of experienced dispatchers around yourself, and they do know those prices. They know from day to day where the industry is, where the prices are. So learn from them by looking at those rates. At self-dispatch, it's also what you need to be aware of. It's not only the mileage, it's not only your empty miles and then loaded miles or where the load is going to. It is about, is it the night drive? Am I gonna be driving 6 hours, well not 6, let's say 12 hours throughout the night? Am I gonna be driving? I'm gonna be adding some money to it. I don't want to drive for cheap price throughout the night. Also, it's let's say the load is heavy. It's just near my payload. I'm gonna increase that price right there because they have a lot of freight. It's not the same for the customer to be hauling 100 pounds freight and 3,000 pounds freight. It's different value of the freight. So with different value of the freight, the price of the load itself, the price of the lane itself can be increased. So that is something that they should be looking at too. Also, if the load is very light, we do have, as you already know, situations where a large Sprinter van is hauling 10-pound box. It's expediting. It is what it is. But adjust your price accordingly to that. It's gonna be a very easy load for you. You're gonna put that box in on your passenger seat, and you're gonna go sleep throughout the night. It's an easy load for you. You're gonna be rested after that and everything. So try to go easy with the price there. With the loads that are challenges, go more with the rate. But also what I would advise them, if you're unsure, we always have a dispatcher here who will listen to you, who can give you advice. So that communication is a key.
Right. You mentioned technological setback for certain groups of drivers. And do you think auto dispatch mode addresses this setback for them? Does it make up for what they would need to be done, but they cannot get it done effectively? Do you think that's a good response to that challenge?
Absolutely. What I think is, when I came here to BHX, to RBS, and then started working with logistics, it was like, man, if only I could know what the driver thinks, what kind of load he wants. Right now I'm looking for a load anywhere in the US for him. If I only knew what's the minimum pay on the load he wants, what's the maximum mileage on the load he wants, if only I knew what states he wants to go to. And now
simplifies the process.
Yes, and now right now the driver is he's just transferring his thoughts to the application. Right now I know what the driver thinks, and I can book that load accordingly. It's a perfect situation. So right. That's why this app is such an advancement for the industry. As I said, I really don't think that there is any other company out there that has it. So I think that even those drivers, let's say for the driver, it's hard for him to click, at those states or something. Call us, hey, I don't want to go there. Okay, I'm gonna unclick it for you. It's not a problem. So it's a very, very simple process for those
virtually
drivers.
The people need to give you only the key informations that they need, where they want to go, where they don't want to go, if they're bound to a certain mileage restriction around home, they state how far they're able to go, and minimum rates and things like that. It really simplifies the process in a way that the driver is able to tell you what he or she wants, and based on that, you have the direction of what loads you want to look for.
Absolutely.
It's basically that simple, right?
Yeah, that's how we aim for that happiness with the drivers. You know, you can have $3,500, pay at the end of the week, but still be unhappy. I have, maybe you've had 5 very, very tough loads. You've had 5 loads over 1,000 miles. You're exhausted, at the end of the week, and right now, you're finished with a load. It's been 1,500 miles load. Right now, you just want some, short load, 300, 400 miles, just so you wouldn't lose out the day, because 24 hours without a load, without a penny in your pocket, it's not easy for the driver. So I want that short load. So okay, I'm gonna put my availability from 11 a.m. right today. I'm gonna put that maximum mileage on the load. I want this 300, 400 miles.
You're your own boss, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. You're your own boss. So I think this is, it does help the driver with the pay, but also helps their happiness, helps their safety as well. Sometimes we can book loads for the drivers that are very tough, and they've already done a tough load. Sometimes we can't keep up with all the things out there. Right now, the driver can set that for them, and we are. Those mistakes would not be happening.
What way would drivers be able to utilize in order to prevent such situations through the currently available features on the BHX app? We know that there are restrictions. There is a way to set a state selection. Give them an advice here. This is a good chance, since we touched the subject. What are they able to do in order to make sure that we're looking at the right pool of loads in this specific situation where they already dealt with a difficult long load?
What I think the perfect situation would be here is if all the drivers would reset up their auto dispatch settings, preferences after every load, accordingly to how they feel, how well rested they are, and what are their preferences, what are their wishes, to reset it up. As I said, you've finished a very, very long load, and you just wanna you want a short load, and you don't want to do it right away. So it's 6 a.m. you delivered a load, and you want to take some rest, 4 hours. Okay, set myself available from 10 a.m. So we will not get any loads to bid for you if it's before 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. starting. I don't want a really cheap load. Even though I want to load 300, 400 miles. Not a long load. I still don't want to load for like $200. I can't take that. It's not profitable for me, maybe. And I'm gonna set the minimum amount of money on a load to, let's say, $400, $500, and I'm gonna put that mileage 300, 400. Yes, it limits your options. It definitely does. But if at this moment what's more important to you is to be well rested. It addresses
the other concern, the rest.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. So, as I said, the best thing would be after every load the driver finishes to reset it up, and if they have any kind of concerns, any kind of inquiries, call us. Maybe we can give you some advices. Maybe sometimes I even advise drivers. He wants to be available from 6 a.m. in some areas, and those areas are not active until like 10 a.m. So he's gonna wake up at 6 a.m. because he doesn't want to sleep and me not being able to wake him up. He will wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and he's gonna wait out and probably not gonna get any loads until 10 a.m. So we can give them proper advice. and I think that that communication between the drivers and the dispatchers is crucial, and that way they can set up their preferences perfectly according to their wishes and needs.
Mahir, you have booked over 1,000 loads since coming to RBS. What is a conversation without some throwbacks, without some memorable moments and situations? And I love this part of the conversation. You booked over 1,000 loads. There has to be one, well, maybe two. You know, you take your freedom and list them out. The most memorable loads that you have booked, and why? Why do they stand out?
Those are probably not gonna be any you know. There is one crazy paying load. Our driver David did a very nice load to Canada. It was, I think, at that time I've set the record for the loads aside from that Alaska load we had earlier, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. I called David. You know, I've told him, look, man, it's a tough load. It's a very tough load. You have a lot of miles. You know.
How many miles did you have approximately?
Well, it wasn't like super long, but it's going to a very remote area. You know, you're going to be going through some very tough roads.
And where was he delivering to?
That's going to be. I think it was in Canada, Prince Edward Island. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna be that, and it was around 1,1700 miles, and you know, it can deliver directly. There's one thing: his payload is 4,000 pounds. The load weighs 4,000 pounds. So you're facing with you're facing with a difficulty, you know, of your van breaking down and it being a very tough rate. So you know, I put on a fair price on that. At that time, as I said, it set a record, and I called him, you know, just, David, do you want to do this load? And he said, you know, with these words, I like challenges, I love challenges, and with that kind of money that it pays, you know, I would be a fool not to take it. And you know, it was just, you can feel that smile on someone else's face, you know, even over the phone.
Was ready for it right there.
Absolutely, and he did such a good job. He had until Monday to deliver it. Even, you know, that being a very tough load, he delivered it, you know, even before the appointment. So very good.
Mahir, a lot of people are going to watch this, and we touched base on many different subjects, and who knows, maybe we'll be able to meet one day again and discuss some new subjects. But I wanna give the stage and the attention of people on you right now. I want to set that attention on you. What would your message be to everyone watching us right now, and you know, BHX drivers, the customers, the BHX staff, management, our team in St. Louis, our team in Sarajevo. What is your message to everyone out there, and what is the future prediction for us? Where are we sailing to? Well,
you know, I can't send out just a general message, but I can send, you know, short messages to all of those groups. To our customers, you know, we are working hard to provide the best customer service, the best service there is, so they can entrust us with our freight, and you know, just be able to, you know, give me the rate con and be at ease with that load, knowing that they will not lose their customer, that you know, everyone will be happy at the end, and I thank them for that, and I'm saying that this is just the beginning. You know, we're gonna keep improving that. To our drivers, I wanna thank them for their trust, and I want them to know that we are in loop with all the things, all the situations, all the news in the industry that are in, and that we are gonna adjust our process, our actions, to make those drivers happy, to keep them active, to keep them rolling with a lot of good loads. To our you know, to my colleagues, to say, you know, just we are doing great. We can do even better. You know, a lot of good things are coming. Us being us trusting the management, because, you know, definitely at some point, you know, probably each and every one of us was a little bit, you know, let's say holding, you know, about those processes that have been ongoing from the management side, you know, some of the actions. But in the end, we came to see that those actions are actually what kept this company growing, and they are in this industry much longer than any of us employees, and they do know the best, you know, what's the best for this company. And what's the best thing is that they actually love feedback, and they want that feedback. Not a lot of, you know, company management can proudly say we take every single feedback from our drivers, from our customers, and from our employees. So you know, I wanna trust them, everyone, for their trust, and I wanna ask them to trust us more, you know, while we are on this great journey to become even bigger. Because, you know, standing in one spot, it's not something that is gonna take us there. So we're definitely gonna be taking more and more brave actions to try and be bigger and better.
Thank you, Mahir. Thank you very much for your time and the opportunity to meet with you in this episode of On the Road. Like I said, looking forward to reconnect with you, and perhaps until next time we'll have new things to discuss, and with how the industry and RBS and BHX are operating, that's very likely to expect. Mahir, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the 12th episode of On the Road show. Next week, new guest, new story, and new subject, so stay tuned. Keep an eye on our TikTok and other social media channels for new content every week. And stay safe out there. I'll see you all next week. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.